You know, it's amazing how many people Satan has deceived into thinking that just because you have the thought that you've already sinned. I mean, that isn't what Jesus said. He said to lust after, and this is what Paul is describing in 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has taken you, but such as is common to man, which is the lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, the pride of life. He says, but God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted above what you are able, but will with the temptation make a way of escape, that you may be able to bear up underneath it. I mean, this is what Paul is also getting at in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, when he's talking about, I don't fight as one uncertainly who beats against the air like a shadow boxer, beating, fighting against the wind. He says, but I buffet my body and I bring it under, talking about I make it my slave, lest after having preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. I mean, this is why he wrote Romans 6:15, 16, where he says, know you not to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey, the servants you are to whom you obey, whether it be sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. I mean, we've got to understand that just to have the thought isn't sin. I mean, this is what Paul was talking about, in part talking about the bondage that we're in in 2 Corinthians 10, when he says, though we walk in the flesh, we don't war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, fleshly, but mighty through God to the destruction of strongholds. Casting down, destroying thoughts and imaginations that exalt themselves against the knowledge of God. And bringing every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. And when your obedience is complete, having a readiness to punish every disobedience. I mean, this is what Romans 5:6, when we were yet without strength, in due time Christ died for the ungodly. We got to understand the truth that makes us free. I mean, people will come up with all these lies just because maybe they just want to believe because they had the thought. That way they can just go ahead and fulfill it. It's not the truth.